Okay, so welcome to part 2 of my collection. So yes, you can see I've got a Mustang Squire. It's a vintage modified model, this one. I got it in January of this year, and I'd wanted a Mustang for quite some time. I wanted the Mustang in the traditional kind of format that you see there, with the face switching and what have you. And I pulled the trigger on it because Fender were bringing out some new Mustangs last year there, and they weren't quite the traditional configuration. And then when Squire launched their new lineup at the beginning of the year, they had a Bullet Mustang, which hasn't got the same setup. It's just a 2 humbuckers and a 3-way switch. And I thought, well, is this a sign that the traditional Mustangs being phased out for now? So I thought I would jump on it while I could. Apparently that's vintage white, but that's not white anything, that colour, is it? It's more of a cream colour, in fact even maybe a yellow, a light yellow. This is right for doing some mods. Now I do have problems with that bridge. The strings do pop out of the saddles, so I might look at upgrading that. Duncan Design pickups, yeah, they're okay, but I'm not the greatest fan. They're a little bit underwhelming, to be honest. I'm not sure I like those tuners with the plastic heads on them. I get that the plastic heads are in keeping with the first Mustangs that came out, which were set up as student guitars, but yeah, I just don't really like the look, so I might do something with those. Tuners themselves are fine, which is to be expected. I've got another vintage modified guitar, which you'll see a bit later on, and a classic vibe as well, and they all seem to have the same style tuners, apart from just those heads, the plastic on this one, whereas the other two, they are properly got the proper heads on them. So I might look at getting these ones changed. Yeah, so not quite as good as I was hoping it would be, but I think I can get it. Ooh, fingers in the way, but I think I can get it there with a few upgrades and what have you. Okay, so next up is my Epiphone Dot Cherry. Lovely looking guitar. You can probably see straight away I've done quite a few mods to it. So first off, most obvious there is probably the Bigsby. It's a Bigsby B3. It is a proper American Bigsby as well. It's not one of the Chinese copies or Chinese licensed Bigsby's that you see. It is a genuine American model, that. It's not drilled in. Haven't done any drilling at all. What I did was, there's a company called Towner. I'll just move my guitar around. And if you bear with me, they have just a little socket which you put in place under the lower strap knob, and then you screw that strap lock back in and it holds the Bigsby in place. So really handy. And then partly for aesthetic purposes, rather than having holes in the guitar or just redundant mounting studs where the stock tailpiece used to be, I've got a Towner tension bar. Looks a lot nicer than, as I say, having the holes or just the empty mounting studs there, or one of those plates that you can get. Yeah, so it looks rather cool. Upgraded well, not upgraded, but I've changed the pots. As standard, they come with amber bell style knobs, which in their own right are okay, but I just don't find that they suit the guitar, the style of the guitar. So I think those replacements suit the overall guitar a lot better. I've changed the switch tip as well. Obviously it's cream there. The original one was black. Just think the cream looks a little bit nicer. Pickups as well, I've swapped out. They're a pair of Iron Gear Hot Slags, which I think is a great name for a set of humbuckers. They're really nice, but I'm not sure they suit the style of the guitar. They are a little bit too hot. A little bit too much power, whereas I think this should be a little bit more rolled back, sort of bluesy. So I might swap them out. Obviously I will keep the pickups and put them in something else that comes along, because they are really good quality. It's just, yeah, they put out a little bit more than I think suits the style of guitar. Really nice to play. I love the sound, the sort of tremolo sound that you get from having the Bigsby there, and very nice for playing sort of 50s style stuff. I want to change the pick guard as well. Obviously that's the original one. I want to get a more sort of 335 style look to it. So I think it looks nicer than that. But yeah, overall really nice, powerful guitar. Great for pretending to be Marty McFly at the high school dance. The next guitar to show you, it's a Tele, and it's a 50s classic vibe in butterscotch blonde. Lovely guitar, gorgeous sounding. Sounds exactly like a Tele should. I haven't changed much on this at all. All I've done is put an orange drop capacitor in just to beef up the sound a little bit. But those are the stock pickups, which sound really nice, really twangy, quacky, sort of Tele type sound that you exactly what you want. But it really growls as well if you put a bit of crunch and drive onto it. So I've got no intention of changing these at all. Rumours are that they're Tone Rider pickups. If you do know anything about Tone Riders, they are a good set of pickups. Yeah, lovely guitar. What was I going to say about this one? Yeah, I've had this for about 4 years or so. I actually got rid of a Mexican Fender P bass in order to purchase this one. I had intentions of, you know, playing bass properly, but never really got round to it. And it's a lovely bass for what it was, but it was just sitting there doing nothing, gathering dust. And hey, get rid of it to get something in that I really want. And yeah, this is lovely. I absolutely adore it. Okay, so the next guitar I'm going to show you is another Les Paul. This is the Gibson that I mentioned briefly earlier on, and this is actually my most recent acquisition. I got this one about 4 weeks ago. And going back to what I said about the earlier one, the Epi Custom that I showed, and I was saying about how it sounds really great now we've upgraded it, but it's not quite there in terms of how it feels to play and what have you. I mean, this is just in a class of its own. It just feels so much smoother, so much silkier to play. So it is a good example of, yeah, you can upgrade an Epiphone. And Epiphones are great guitars, as I said earlier on. Not a problem with Epiphones at all. I've got, you know, a few of them, and I'll back them up until my dying day. Fantastic guitars, not just for the money, but in their own right. But yeah, obviously, if you know the prices that you pay for an Epiphone compared to what you pay for a Gibson, you know, there is a difference in terms of quality, and you can upgrade parts in the Epiphone and you can get it sounding absolutely spot on, but it still doesn't quite feel as good as a Gibson. And I know Gibson have their issues in terms of you know, quality and consistency and what have you, but if you get a good Gibson, it's a really, really good guitar. And yeah, absolutely nothing wrong with this at all. It plays beautifully. It's what's called a 50s traditional, is that right? 50s tribute T, which means traditional. 2016 model. If you get a 2017, they don't have the little selector switch ring. But yeah, it's very, very basic for a Gibson, not very flashy. Doesn't have any of the binding on or what have you, but it's still got a nice look to it. You know, understated, but still looks great. Feels great to play. It makes us smile every time I play this. It's just an absolute joy. It soaks up the tone. You can feel the body soaks up the tone of this guitar in a way that the Epiphone just doesn't. Because as I say, it's got that plasticky, if I can get my words out, sort of feel to it. But yeah, fantastic guitar this is. 490 and 498 Gibson pickups there. Really strong, crunchy tones. Yeah, sounds exactly like a Les Paul should. Fantastic.